make tonight's contest great, but remember to respect the game. Thank you. The officials assigned for this contest have been selected and assigned according to the procedures of the Tri-Valley Conference. And the officials are Anthony Sheets, Brandon Abbott, and Nate Curley. And now, let's meet the starters for both teams, beginning with the visiting Spartans. Number 5, the junior 5'7" Mason Morris. The 6'3" junior, number 15, Claxton Hawk. 6' senior, number 23, Stanley Vinny. 6'5" sophomore, number 25, Nate Graves. And a 5'10" junior, number 31, Isaac Waller. The Spartans are coached by Mr. Jeff Skinner. And now, for your home team, Lincoln Catholic Vikings. A 6'4" senior, number 3, Owen Heyer. A 6'1" junior, number 5, Cobra Sharp. A 6' senior, number 11, Parker Schonborn. A 6'2" senior, number 21, Garrett Brown. And a 6'6" senior, number 34, Ashton Hall. The Vikings are coached by Mr. F.J. Kite. Let's get ready.
All right, we're underway here from Vinton County High School as Cobra Sharp takes the tip, tries to put up the layup, but oh good, ball was knocked out of bounds, going to stay with Alexander. Nathan Lamb alongside my partner Brad Rose here live on BMG Media. The first boys home game of the season. We had the girls last night, boys tonight, as we kick things off here in our season of coverage of Vinton County Vikings basketball, both boys and girls, as Cobra Sharp has the ball out top. Into the corner, Garrett Brown takes a three. Too strong, no good. Rebound by the Spartans.
Little taller lineup here without the shorter, faster Hembry.
And there's a three for Alex, no good. That was Mason Morris, the junior. Lots of juniors and sophomores on this Alexander Spartans team. As Owen Heyer takes it to the rack, puts it in off glass, and the Vikings score first as they're up 2-0. And we've got a lane violation against the Spartans, so the Vikings will get the ball under the basket. We talk about the juniors and sophomores, juniors on this team. Just a couple, looks like 4 seniors on this squad for Alexander. They've struggled this season, still looking for their first win of the year as Brown takes another three. This one's good.
Nice shot.
And it's now 5-0. As minutes gone by in this first quarter of TVC Ohio action here. BMG Media, again, first game of the season for the Vikings as Spartans trying to get on the board here as Hawk has it, bounces around the perimeter. Holmes going to take it back top of the key. He's going to look for some help now. He's got Allman all over him. And he finally finds Claxton Hawk. And back to Ohms, back to Hawk. It's like semi-pro.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Hawk, one of the returning starters from last season.
So another turnover for the young Spartans. Vikings up 5, 6:13 to go. The Vikings, Brad, perfect so far this season. Again, this is the first time we've been here for a game on BMG as Owen Heyer gets a board, puts it up, no good, gets it again. Second time's a charm. Or Owen Heyer's got 4 points, Brad, of the 7 for the Vikings as they lead.
Oh, and a big part of this offense over the last couple games.
So Waller out top, back to Hawk. He's going to drive and stop. Looking for some help, throws it across to Morris. Mason Morris, the junior, out top with Sharp on him. 5 versus 5. Backs down, kicks it back out. Vinny over to Waller, and he puts up a shot, no good. And that's a nice job on the board there by Nate Graves, the sophomore. Biggest kid on the floor for the Spartans, and he's the youngest out there, big number 25. And it gets Alex on the board, 7-2. That one knocked away. Good defense there by the Spartans. A long three by Brown, no good. And a rebound to Stanley Vinny. 5 minutes left first quarter. Brown on Vinny. Vinny picks up his dribble, trying to get it inside. Does. And almost with another score was Graves as the ball is free now, picked up by the Spartans. And Morris going to take a deep three. This one's too strong, no good. And an offensive rebound by Isaac Waller, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
Spartans scrappy on the offensive boards there.
So Waller will go to the line here. Allman picks up the first foul of the game for either team, Brad, and it's worth mentioning. I think a lot of people out there probably know at this point, but the OHSAA changed the rule now for fouls as the first free throw is in for Isaac Waller. No longer do they add up per half.
No.
Typically, last year, and as long as I can remember, you get to 7 fouls, you go to you get a bonus shot. If it's a foul on the floor at that point, you go for a 1-and-1, and then once you get to 10 fouls, second shot up, and it falls. 7-4. You get the second free throw after 10 fouls. Now, scratch that. 5 fouls per quarter. If you get to 5, you shoot 2, regardless of the foul, whether it's shooting or non, with the exception of a 3-point foul. So we'll have to keep our eye on, and those will reset after each quarter. So a little new facet to the game here in Ohio high school basketball as Brown puts up the shot, no good. Rebound by the Vikings. Sharp has it now up top. He's going to drive all the way to the rack, off glass, and in.
Beautiful.
Cobra Sharp. So now the Spartans looking for someone to inbound the ball,
Fell
and
asleep here.
nearly a 5-second call. Claxton Hawk with it. And we're going to have a travel call on Hawk as Parker Schonborn was on defense there for the Vikings. And he will take a seat as well as Owen Heyer. Into the game comes Matt Hembry and Aiden Reynolds.
Couple of speedy defenders here on the floor, Nathan.
Yeah, Brad, and Hayden Reynolds is kind of new to the varsity squad here as he takes a three. Just short. Looked good from here, Brad. And you talk about that scrappiness. Hembry almost had an offensive rebound there.
Hembry is just a machine.
Talk a little bit about Hayden Reynolds, though. What's he bring to this team this year?
Hayden Reynolds brings there's another presence on the floor of a guard, another point guard. I mean, he's just as good as what Cobra is, and you're going to see it here tonight on the floor.
We've got some pressure there by the Vikings, and the Spartans break it. And 24 up for a shot. That was Sam Olms, and the big man inside, Ashton Allman, deflected that one. And they're going to call a push on Allman, trying to clean up that missed basket.
That's 2 quick ones there.
It's called for the foul. That is his second foul, and he will come out. So Owen Heyer is going to come in for the big man. 9-4, Vikings up by 5. Spartans playing tough. By the way they're playing, Brad, you wouldn't expect them to be winless on the season so far.
Not indicative of their record.
Right, and if you remember last year, Brad, this early TVC Ohio matchup was a big one here. The Spartans actually started that season out 5-0 before coming to MacArthur, and the Vikings, I guess you could say, kind of pulling an upset a little bit as Brown takes a deep three. This one's in
Nice
again.
shot.
That's 2 for the senior.
Well, they're missing that Kyler DiAugustino.
That's a big part of it. Co-player of the year last year in the TVC. We saw the Spartan really all season last year. Kyler was just hard to control as Cobra Sharp has it, and he's going to nice pass inside to Owen
Beautiful
Heyer.
pass.
And Heyer with 6 points.
Yeah, not many teams had an answer for Mr. D'Agostino.
So the Spartans in a little bit of a rebuild mode. Coach Skinner and his Spartans, typically a very rich tradition in basketball over at Alexander. As Hayden Reynolds with the poke. He's going to try to take it coast to coast. He goes up strong. Hits it to fall. Couple quick points there for the Vikings, 16-4 now. Their lead is up to 12 with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Mason Morris loses the handle, and it's going to go back to the Spartans, or the Vikings here, as we see this steal by Hayden Reynolds. And talk about the offense that Hayden brings, but what about the defense by Hayden Reynolds?
Oh, laterally, he can move just as quick as Hembry or Cobra Sharp on the floor.
He brings it across. Tritipo has it now, and he gets it poked away. Waller trying to go coast to coast himself. He does.
Nice.
Off glass, draws the foul, and he'll go to the line. So he says, Hayden Reynolds, I'll see your steal, and I will one-up you a foul shot.
This Spartan offense is talking about scrappy, like we were on defense with our Vikings. This offense is scrappy.
And Isaac Waller, a name that you heard a lot last fall, Bradley, the football team. 16-6, trying to cut into the lead, and that one's off the rim, but the Spartans, well, they almost had the rebound as Hembry stole it away, and Brown brings it across the timeline. Back to Hembry, over to Tritipo. Brown going to try another three. This would be 3 if it goes. That's short. And rebound by Waller, over to Morris. Morris is going to bring it up the floor. 1 minute and 23 seconds left, first quarter. Vikings in a man defense. Shad with the ball now. Back over to Morris. Morris thought about a 3. Tritipo on him. They tried to throw it in. It gets knocked away by Hembry as they tried to find Graves, and there's a 3 from the corner. Tritipo, no good. Rebound.
Nice.
Brown flying through the air, puts it off the glass and in. What a play by Garrett Brown.
Garrett Brown just coming down the lane, knew where to put that body, wait for the ball.
18-6. The Vikings extend the lead back to 12. 45 seconds left. We'll see if the Spartans try to hold for one here. Morris trying to drive on Hembry, and he does. Puts up the shot off the front rim, no good. Rebound all the way down to Brown. Lays it off glass, too easy. Got it in there. That's 20. Brown scoring outside, inside, in transition. Mr. Everything. 20-6, 18 seconds left. Morris gets the ball. Hembry on him. He's going to put up a 3. That one's short, no good. And, nearly a save by Nate Graves. That was a good attempt by the big man to try to save that ball from hitting out of bounds. It looks like the ref called his foot on the line as he jumped.
I believe he did.
As we've got 10 seconds left. Vikings up 20-6. Reynolds with it now. Tritipo in the corner. Got some space there if he wants to try to shoot.
Boy.
There's a steal. 2 seconds to go. And a nice job by Hayden Reynolds to stop Trent Shad from putting up that shot. He
had a clear path.
Wow.
Hayden
What?
just beat him to the spot.
He had a nice head start on that play, and Reynolds ran him down. What a job defensively by Hayden Reynolds and this Viking team.
And that's the reason you're seeing him here early in the first. Not got to see him a whole lot last year as far as varsity minutes, and here we're getting to see him early in this game, the first one that you and I have got to sit in and do the broadcast on.
Right. So 20-6, Brad. Got to be happy with the offense. Got to be happy with the defense. 20 points put up on this team, which relatively small Alexander squad, but they did it with Ashton Allman on the bench almost the entire first.
They did, and we're going to see probably a good bit of that again in the second quarter here. I'm sure if he even sniffs a little bit of foul trouble, Coach will have him out again.
And how important is it to have not just one big man with Ashton Allman? We know what he's capable of, what he can do defensively, offensively, but to have a guy like Owen Heyer be able to step in, maybe be a little smaller but a little quicker, but still have that physicality to be able to go up strong and score baskets. How important is it to have those two? If one gets in foul trouble, you just kind of plug and play.
Yeah, I mean, you don't miss a thing with Owen on the floor. You actually almost have another guard on the floor because he has that type of presence about him. And you see right now, Ian Moeller's out there now. That's our third big man.
Yes, 6'5" Ian Moeller. Let's not forget about him. I believe, was it Wesleyan that offered him a football scholarship?
Yeah, I believe it was. He's collected a few here in the recent weeks.
How awesome is that, Brad? We've seen it throughout the last couple of months, man. It seems like every week or two there's another batch going, getting offers from
there are, and if you
other
notice,
schools, it's incredible.
These universities are trying to pick 3 or 4 out of this senior class at a time and try to get some of those Vikings on their roster.
There's a 3 from the corner, Vinny. That was too strong, no good. Put back up by Graves was no good. And the Vikings try to get it ahead to Heyer, but it's knocked out of bounds as Vinny. Good defense. Did we lose another chair, Brad?
I believe we did.
It looks all right. If you remember the Jordan Kidd incident where he jumped over the scores table to try to save a loose ball, landed on Terry Hale, and Terry Hale's chair just collapsed.
Well, these chairs are just not designed for 2 people.
Cobra Sharp takes it up, and they're going to call travel. Travel on Sharp.
Little hop in the lane there.
So take away the points. It's still 20-6, 7:22 to go first quarter. Bradley, if you want that Pepsi right there,
I'm good. Thank you, Nathan. Mason Morris, nice little ball handler.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, Bradley.
Look at that.
Vinny gets picked. Sharp with it, looking for help. Finds Chudipo in the corner, wide open three. Got it! Doesn't get more wide open than that, and the Spartans call time. 23-6, 6:51 to go in the first quarter. Denton County on top here in this TVC Ohio matchup. Again, Brad, we talked about these two teams' trajectory. The Spartans young. They're trying to kind of find their score, their identity. Anytime you lose a player like Kyler DeAugustino from a year ago, you're going to have to search for something. Because it was in crunch time last year in every game. It was Kyler, go do your thing.
It was, and he was nearly unstoppable. Even Hembry had a hard time slowing him down, who not too many people in the league, in the TVC, were able to make him, almost negate his speed, his defensive prowess. D'Agostino was able and capable of doing that. Did it to multiple defenders, elite defenders in the TVC last season.
So the Spartans start action here in the second quarter. 6:45 to go. As Clark's got it with Owen Heyer on him, gets it over to Morris. Morris inside. Hawk puts up the hook shot, no good. Rebound, Cobra Sharp. He's going to drive all the way to the rack and get blocked by Howie Clark. A nice job defensively by the Spartans, slowing down Cobra Sharp.
He had Owen Heyer in the corner and took a little glance at him and said, nope, I'm taking this one myself.
So Heyer, back to Sharp. Sharp, Chudipo in the corner, going to try it again. And same result as the first shot.
That kid has made a lot of shots from that corner over the years.
26-6, the Vikings up by 20 in the second quarter. 6:11 to go. We are making a pit stop, Brad, here. We're changing batteries in the camera.
Well, it happens to the best of us.
So we'll do a little radio call here. Howie Clark back to number 5. That was Morris. His shot, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds and stays with the Spartans. We're back.
Didn't take long, did it?
Not at all. We have
the best NASCAR pit stop.
We have the best pit crew in Southeast Ohio, Brad. And there's a pass inside. Nice give and go. Shot up no good. Rebound. Oh, and swatted by who was that? Was Moeller. Holy moly. There's a three no good. Rebound tipped by Tritipo and going to be touched out of bounds by the Spartans. What a block by
Moeller. Moeller can climb a ladder now. Wow. I'm telling you, brother.
I saw a picture of him. I think it was the first game. Somebody snapped the picture. The entire arm was nearly above the rim in warm-ups. So he definitely has some hops. Maybe that's why Wesleyan wanted him up on their team there.
Put that size in the end zone.
Gerber Sharp with it over to Brown. Brown's going to try a three. Hand in the face. In and out. Tritipo with the board. It's it over to Nash Yates.
Feed.
Yates goes up strong, and he'll go to the foul line. Nash Yates in the game now for the Vikings. 5:16 to go. Second quarter. First shot is in for Yates.
Nash looked good in the JV game earlier. Yeah.
Well, Brad, I unfortunately was running behind tonight.
It's all right. You're here. It's all that matters.
Out here about 2 minutes before.
You don't need any prep time, Nathan.
Unfortunately, I probably do. Second shot good, 28-6. And we're having some difficulties with some wires up here, so sorry if the stream cuts out every once in a while as the Spartans now looking inside. Hawk has it, and he kicks it back out to Howie Clark. He's going to drive on Moeller.
Nice
and
defense.
The ball is
Schomburn.
picked away by Schomburn up to Yates. And a nice job there. Nearly got the steal. And Sharp lays it up and in as he was in the right place at the right time.
That was a good choice
nice job by Isaac Waller, though, initially almost with that steal for the Spartans. 30-6. And a nice pass there as Hawk missed the open shot. Couple subs for the Spartans. Graves back in. And they're going to get it into the corner to Waller. Waller on Moeller. And Moeller with the block. Oh, they're going to call a foul. Woo.
My goodness.
So Waller will go to the line. Nearly the second block for Mr. Moeller. 4:23 to go, first half. First shot up and in. 30-7 now.
Waller just looks like a football player, doesn't he?
Waller's he's
a helmet on out there.
Yes. Second shot up, no good. Rebound by Garrett Brown, and Sharp has it now with 4:20 left in the second quarter. It's like Heyer and Allman.
That's some size coming in.
Might be coming back into the game as their shot is up by Sharp.
Nice.
No good. Saved by Moeller. Gets it back out to Brown. Brown over to Sharp. Sharp for three. Good.
Nice.
33-7. Morris with it for the Spartans. Mason Morris. Embry on him.
It's a lineup I don't believe I've seen yet this year on the floor at the same time.
And Waller's going to drive. Puts up the shot off glass, no good. And the ball is knocked out of bounds by Nate Graves and the Spartans. And it'll come back to the Vikings. Brad, you look at Parker Schomburn. He had the injury in the final game of the football season last year at Gallia Academy. And what's his status been this early season on with that lingering injury?
It's still bothering him a little bit. You see he's got on the knee brace there today, and he's got a couple other little things that are ailing him. He's trying to get healed up, but I'm sure the senior will make a go of it.
It's looking pretty good so far. Getting this team very deep for the Vikings, Brad, and that's got to help. If you have some people that are banged up a little bit, as there's a floater by Shad that's no good. Rebound to the Vikings, ahead to Yates. Throws it over. That was probably for Sharp. Sharp winds up with it, kicks it back out to Brown. Brown now is going to drive. And block from behind. And the Spartans come away with it. That was Shad with the poke. And Morris brings it across the timeline with 2:50 to go in the second quarter. Waller has it. And nearly poked away. Sam Holmes with the ball now for the Spartans. He's got Cobra Sharp guarding him. He's got to find some help. Gets it over to Morris now. Morris with Sean Bourne looking for the screen. Gets the screen and takes a deep three. This one's just short. Rebound. Sean Bourne and the Vikings. And Sean Bourne gives it to Brown. Brown drives in the paint, throws it. Allman back in the game and puts it in the score. 2 points there for the big man.
Easy one for Ashton.
He's probably pretty fresh tonight, Brad, as he picked up those 2 fouls pretty early on and has just come back into the game. 35-7, 1:57 to go. Shad with the ball out top. Gets it over to Waller on the elbow. Back out to Shad. Over to Holmes. Holmes tried to get it inside. Knocked away by Yates. And Sean Bourne with it. Sean Bourne going to drive in the paint. Kicks it over to the corner. Yates for 3. Too strong, no good. Rebound. Sean Bourne. And the ball's going to be picked up by Ashton Allman. And he uses the body. Gets it off glass. 4 points in a row for the big man. 37-7. The Vikings up by 30 with 1 minute and 22 seconds left in the second quarter. Morris has it for the Spartans. Holmes into the corner. Shad, he brings it out top. Back to Holmes, into Graves. Knocked away again, this time by Allman. And they're going to call
I'm not sure.
a timeout. They call timeout.
Nathan, you spoke about the depth of this team. We've already seen 10 players on the floor so far in this first half. 2 more on the bench that I'm sure you're going to see probably early in the third quarter. Just so much depth. There's so many things that coach can throw at a team and give you some different looks. He can go big. He can go small. He can go defense for offense. There's a lot of things you can do with this group right here. It's fun to watch them. It's going to be fun the entire season.
Yeah, and they're a very athletic group, not just not just size, but they have the ability to move and run. Overall, pretty quick. Should be there's a lot of really good non-conference games coming up for the Vikings, and maybe that's something we'll talk about in the second half. But a lot of big games going to be happening this year for this team as they look to extend the lead. Back to Ashton Allman. He scored 4 in a row. Can he make it 6? No. Knocks it out. And it's going to be crowd by the Spartans. There was a carry, no call. As Clark back to Shad into the corner. That was stolen away as Mason Eidelman is in the game for the Spartans. Brown over to Reynolds. Reynolds puts up a shot. Too strong, no good. Rebound. Bounced around. Picked up by Heyer. Back to Reynolds. Reynolds going to try a deeper shot this time. Short again, no good. Rebound, Heyer. Going to try it one more time. Ashton Allman with it now. Looking for Matt Hembry. Gets him. And the up and under by Matt Hembry and the foul. What a play by Mr. Hembry. Said that a few times this year at different points of the year. 15 seconds left. 39-7. The Vikings up on the Spartans here in this TVC Ohio matchup. Vikings looking to go to 6-0 on the season as Hembry misses the free throw. And Shad's got it across the timeline, 10 seconds left. He's in the corner. Gets it over to number 21, Howie Clark. Clark with 4 seconds left. Reynolds pokes the ball away. It's still loose, and that's going to do it. Another steal at the end of a quarter by Mr. Reynolds to prevent a shot from the Spartans. So at the half, Bradley, it's 39-7, and we're going to take a short break. We will come back for second half action. We'll break down the first half, and we'll talk about the second half, Bradley, when we come back. This is BMG Media's live coverage of Vinton County Vikings football. We will return shortly. Welcome back to BMG Media's live coverage of Vikings football. Nathan Lamb alongside my partner Brad Rose as the Vikings up 39-7 in the first half. Brad, the Vikings dominated offense and defense there. Most impressive part of the game for the Vikings in the first half is?
I don't know. I really like their defense. I mean, these numbers they've been holding these teams to in the first half, to me, has been amazing. I mean, offensively, we know what they are. But to me, the defense complements the offense so well. That's what's really amazed me so far this season.
So looking at a couple scores here, Fairfield Union getting beat by Circleville 17-12. That's a ladies' game. Not much on the update list as we start the second half here. The Vikings have the ball. Schonborn over to Yates. Back to Brown in the corner. Sharp's going to drive. Kicks it back out. Yates for 3. And short, no good. Rebound Graves for the Spartans. As Mason has the ball. Holmes with it now. Over to Claxton Hawk. Hawk back to Mason. Morris, his shot no good. Sharp with it. Brings it across the timeline for the Vikings. Back to Brown. Brown's going to try a 3. This one's in. 42-7. Brown hits another 3. Vinny over to Hawk. Hawk back to Vinny. And inside to Graves. Graves spins, puts up the shot. This one's no good. Rebound by Parker Schonborn. And the Vikings looking the other way. Nice pass over to Brown. Sharp in the corner. Takes a 3. This one's too strong. No good off the iron. And the rebound by Waller and the Spartans. As Stanley Vinny will bring it up. Morris going to take a 3. And this one rattles in. 42-10 now. 6:24 to go in the third quarter.
Nice shot, Cobra. 3-point there for Cobra Sharp.
Another triple. 2 triples in this half by the Vikings.
The first half, the Spartans really moved the ball well, and they seem to be slowed down here just a little bit in the second half.
There's a shot from the elbow. That's short. Holmes with it now. Moeller came down with the rebound, and Brown's going to drive. Kicks it over into the corner. Sharp going to try it again, and he hits another. That's the third triple of the quarter for the Vikings, and it's 48-10. It's been all threes this quarter, Brad.
It has.
3 by the Vikings, 1 by the Spartans. As Morris trying to get around. Nice screen there by Waller. He puts up the shot. Blocked a little there, I think, by Nash Yates. And the ball's ahead into the corner to Brown. Brown going to look to get it to Moeller. No, he sides passes it over to
Didn't expect that to
Schonborn. I thought he was going to Moeller, and he faked me out.
Yeah, I'm not sure Parker was even ready for
Let's
it.
check this out on the replay, Brad. And we got the very end right there, but I thought for sure he was going to Moeller.
I did too. I'm not real sure that Parker knew it was coming.
I was kind of hoping he would go to Moeller, and Moeller would two-hand slam it.
Yeah, we've seen it. I'm sure at some point this season we're going to get the opportunity to make that call.
So the South Webster Jeeps lead the South Gallia Rebels 19-13 after 1. And I mentioned that score, Brad, because we are going to travel to South Webster. Division IV school, very, very good in the Division IV rankings in Southeast Ohio. I would put them right up there next to Federal Hocking, which is another powerhouse small school that we will see as they come here later this year.
Those 2 teams are definitely 2 of the top 10 teams in Southeast Ohio.
So Hawk with it for the Spartans, and the ball knocked away but gathered back up by Morris. He's going to take a three. Can he make it another one? No, this one's off the rim. No good. Rebound, though, to the Spartans. And Shad back to Hawk. Hawk's going to drive. Now hits Shad again from the foul line. That one was knocked free. And ahead to Moeller. Tried to get it ahead to Moeller. Ball stolen away by the Spartans. So Morris with it now. Throws it over to Hawk and over to Shad now. And nearly stolen by Parker. And there's a wide open shot by Claxton Hawk, and he knocks it down, and it's 50-12 with 4 minutes, 5 seconds left in the third quarter. Yates going to try a three this time from the corner and buries it. 53-12, and boy, it's been a barrage of three-pointers in the second half of the Vikings.
It has. They've just been raining down.
Here it is, nice pass into the corner, wide open three. A little hand in the face there, but a good look. Just buries it. What a shot.
Nash has really developed shooting this year. Looking good.
So 3:49 to go. Third quarter, 53-12, Brad. I want to thank our sponsors tonight and all season long for allowing us to do this. Our salaries are pretty hefty, Brad, so these sponsors really pony up.
There's a salary involved? I must be out of the loop, Nation.
So Lockhart Insurance, Buckeye Construction and Restoration, SF Restorations, Delisle Construction, Strickland Sales and Service, McWilliams Funeral, the Patio Grubs and Suds, DDF Seamless Gutters, Precision One Masonry, Spring Street Sports, and Crane Smith Photography, as there's a shot up no good by Ohms. Rebound by Ashton Allman. He brings it across, gets it over to Hayden Reynolds, and that's
nice
pocket pick by Waller, and he goes up off glass and in. Felt the steps from the big man, but finished. Nice job there by Waller. And it's 53-14. Tritipo thought about a three, gets it over into the corner. Now cross-court pass to Hire inside. Back to Tritipo, inside to Allman. Buries it.
Great ball movement by the Vikings.
Allman with another two inside, 55-14. 2:57 to go, third quarter. Shad with it for the Spartans, and the ball's poked away. Watch out in the front row. So Owen Hire sent that one into the crowd. Nice pass, two-handed pass there by the spectator. Getting the ball back to the court. (55-14), third quarter, 2:30 to go. Spartans inbound to Morse. Morse with Tritipo guarding him. Vikings still in the man. Morris now has Allman on him. I'm not sure what's going to happen here, Brad.
A little bit of a
He's going to try to go. He shoots over him and nearly hit the shot. That's hard to do right there, Brad. That's like shooting over
Elevate.
Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
Tritipo back out. Hayden Reynolds with it. He's going to drive all the way to the rack, lays it up and in. 57-14.
Nice drive by Hayden.
He's got some elevation.
He does. Good touch, too.
Hawk over to Trenton Shad. Back to Hawk. Hawk's going to put up a shot over Owen Hire. This one's just too short. And throwing it ahead to Tritipo, just out of reach. And it'll go back to the Vikings, as not many mistakes for the Vikings tonight, Brad, but one right there.
Just trying to be aggressive, get out ahead.
57-14. We're at a minute and 25. Brad, we do have a running clock. 30 points now. That was a rule that they started last year.
Yeah.
And we've seen that on occasion already this year. Luckily, on the good side of that running clock for the Vikings this season, as we're nearing a minute left, the Spartans will have it on the sign. Sam Holmes will inbound it. He throws it up and in to Howie Clark. Clark with Tritipo guarding him. And he gets it back over to Trent Shad. Shad into Claxton Hawk. He's going to spin. Hayden Reynolds knocks it away. He's going to have to throw it out there. Back to Shad. Shad with Hire. Guarding. Back up, top of the key, higher. Knocked it away. It was tipped, so no over and back. And then Hembry pokes it away. Still possession held by the Spartans. As we're down to 25 seconds in the third quarter.
Better ball movement by the Spartans here. They just can't get any penetration.
And Clark puts up the shot, gets the roll, and he'll go to the line.
And they finally do.
And they did look much better on the passing. As we've got the replay here, he just kind of fakes out Reynolds. Reynolds has to guard the guy on the baseline. And he's got an open look, and he takes it.
Yeah.
So nice job by Howie Clark as he'll go to the line trying to get the three-point play here for the Spartans as we've got.
It's the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, the end of the third quarter. As,
That,
again, the running clock, and it's still – I'm still not used to that, Brad. That happened.
The fouls, I'm just out of sorts so far this
It's
season.
odd to see the clock continue to run while you're at the
Yeah.
foul line just because it's never done that before.
No.
So it's one thing to see it continue to run on out-of-bounds plays, different things like that. But when you are at the line, you're focused on the shooter and you're not focused on the score. So at the end of the third quarter, the score 57-16, Brad. There's 8 minutes left to go in this game. Again, running clock. Rule in play.
I like the running clock rule. It assists both teams, but at the same time, we're going to skew some records because of this second half running clock as far as, points given up, different things. We're going to see points scored by teams.
Yes, it's going to help and hurt in certain ways.
It does certain things. So
at the end of the first quarter, Ironton leads Fairland 18-12. That's a pretty big game in the Ohio Valley Conference down on the river. So, Brad, you mentioned some records and how it could hurt or help some certain records. The Vikings' home record for points given up in a game was set in the first game of the season against the Logan Chieftains with 26 points. It was 26 points. So, right now, if they hold the Spartans to 9 points or less, they'll set that record again just a few weeks later. So, and again, you could say aided by the running clock, but at the same time, I mean, it's the rule now as the Spartans.
It is, and as years advance, it'll become the norm, and those records will be tough to beat again.
So Isaac Waller with the big basket. Check this out, Brad. Gets it inside. Good pass, good look. Goes right up over Ian Moeller, and that's hard to do.
Yeah,
and they call the foul. So nice job. Waller's having a pretty good game for the Spartans. As we've got a timeout by Alexander, 57-18. The record for points, the least amount of points given up in a game anywhere by the Vikings, which obviously would be on the road because it's less than the home record, is 23. And that was set at Nelsonville, York a few years back. I believe it was the Tristan and Derek teams of years ago. Gave up 23 points to the Nelsonville York Buckeyes.
I believe the staff and the kids are aware of that.
Well, half of the staff was on those teams,
true.
It's going to help a little bit, right?
So we'll see if they ever make a push to try and beat that. But maybe the staff will say, nope, it's not going to happen, boys.
Like the 72 Dolphins, they're over there with the champagne bottles, right? That 24th point goes in, and they're popping corks.
Where we'll be.
All right, Waller to the line. Trying to complete the three-point play. Shot up and strong. Thought it was going to bounce in. And the Vikings get it ahead to Aiden Woodard, and the ball's going to be poked away by Mr. Waller. The Spartans, and it'll stay Viking ball, and Tritipo will take it out on the corner.
Waller's been Mr. Everything for the Spartans tonight.
So you see David Holtzinger into the game for the Vikings, and Aiden Woodard into the game.
Two seniors that are very good shooters. We don't get to see them real often, but very good shooters.
So Holtzinger has the ball, and he's got Mason Arball guarding him now for the Spartans. Tritipo's going to drive on Morris, kicks it back out, and there's the first shot from one of them. Off the side of the rim, no good, as Aiden Woodard missed that three. But a good look And Waller's going to take it all the way to the rack. This one's no good. Thought he may draw another foul. The Vikings get it ahead to Holsinger. And a steal by Waller. Waller putting the team on his back. Shot up no good. Miss, gets his own rebound, puts it up again. This one's no good as well. And the ball's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Spartans. As, boy, see the intensity of Isaac Waller.
Yeah, he's going
He's
after it now.
not stopping at all in this game. He doesn't care what the score is. He came to play tonight. Morris.
Maybe he's aware of that record.
And Morris puts up a shot. This one's no good. Rebound by Moeller. Moeller going to drive inside. Spin move. Puts up the shot. No good. Off back iron. And a rebound to Sam Holmes. And Morris brings it across the timeline for the Spartans. Gets the screen. Tritipo on Morris. Another screen. And they just keep getting larger for Morris as each screen goes by. And Waller goes up again this time. Misses. And the rebound. Fought for, and it'll go to the Vikings as the ball is knocked out of bounds by Howie Clark, battling with Nash Yates. 5:14 to go, 57-18. And Yates gets it into Tritipo. Nearing the 5-minute mark, the Vikings up. And only one foul in this quarter. Tritipo straight on three. Got it!
Nice.
60-18. Tritipo buries a three from dead center field. We're under 5 minutes left. Morris with the ball. Moeller on him. Gets it over. And getting it inside to Mr. Waller. He gets it back out. There's an open look. Passed up. Shot up inside. No good. That was Jack Ford on the shot. 4:30 to go. Nash Yates under the basket. Up off glass and in. Good pass by Ian Moeller to find Nash Yates. 62-18.
Aside from Holmes, these are all juniors on the floor. This is the same team you're going to see again next season.
And Morris takes it to the rack. He'll go to the foul line. And Morris, not so much in the scoring for the Spartans, but very good ball handler.
Yeah, very
is
good
Morris.
facilitator.
Yes.
2-point guard.
Runs the offense well.
Yes.
Again, you mentioned that the Spartans are going to have a lot of people back next year. They're going to be much improved.
Young group, like I said, 24 Ohms there is the only senior on the floor currently.
Yeah, and you talk about the intensity that Waller gives. Look out next year.
Yeah.
He's got the size, the tenacity, and the physicality as
without
we've
a doubt.
seen this game so far. As the free throw's good, 62-19, 3:35 to go. And
Down 40, and he's still giving everything he has
Yes,
on every
absolutely.
single play up the floor.
so he'll pick up the foul on Nash Yates, and Vikings will take it out on the side. It's his second foul for Isaac Waller, the junior big man for the Spartans. And the Vikings get into Moeller. Tritipo to the rack, off glass, and in.
Nice left hand there.
Another great pass by Ian Moeller. What is this?
Hey,
What's he doing?
I don't know. He's auditioning for a starting role on the varsity squad.
Apparently, at point guard, nonetheless. 6'5" point guard. We've seen that before, haven't we? Oh, what a block by Moeller. And out of bounds was the Spartans' Isaac Waller as he came down with the ball. Wow.
Moeller's leaping ability is
Check this.
amazing.
All right, the Vikings take it across the timeline. Tritipo, 2:39 to go, gets it inside. Moeller, hey, loses the ball. Another steal by Waller, Brad. You talk about his not giving up attitude. There it is again.
That kid, fierce competitor.
Morris going to drive from the elbow, puts up the shot. This one bounces off rim, no good. Rebound. David Olsinger, he brings it across the timeline between the legs. Going to drive inside, back out. Tritipo. He's going to kick it over to Moeller. Moeller under the basket, puts it up. No good. Gets his own rebound. Goes back up again. I heard a thump,
Yeah.
which to me is a clean block. So I don't. Let's check this out right here. Look at this block by Moeller. Wow. Talk about getting up.
Yeah.
Got one returned to him though on the other end.
Waller said this isn't happening anymore, Moeller. We're done with it.
So Waller's got to take a break. Even LeBron James has to take a seat every once in a while. Ball is passed straight into the Spartans. Looked like Tritipo thought Yates was going to zig when he zagged. And
Yeah.
Spartans now have it as Vinny drives, kicks it back out forward. He puts up a shot. Rainbow off glass, no good. Thought he had it. Rebound. Aiden Woodard, he takes it across. Puts up the floater, no good. And they're going to call a blocking foul. Woo. He wanted that one.
Yes,
He got down the floor quickly.
He did. Saw the opportunity, wanted to make the most of it.
So Aiden Woodard will go to the line for two. We're down to a minute and 3 seconds. Clock rolling 64-19, Brad. Down to a minute. Clock continuing to roll on these free throws. As the free throw is no good. We're down to 50 seconds. 45 seconds, Brad. This could be a historic night here in Vinton County as the free throw is no good and it goes out of bounds. Clock's still rolling, Brad.
I'd say Alexander's going to have to hustle if they want to get 4 points here.
33 seconds left. Number 10, Jack Ford, gets it across to number 2, Mason Eidelman. Eidelman passes over to Stanley Vinny. We're down to 25 seconds. Vinny drives inside, puts up the shot. Shot no good. Rebound tip. Vikings have it. Olsinger with it. 15 seconds left. He hits the deck hard. Luckily, he's okay.
I'd say that's going to ice it.
And we're down to 8 seconds left. 5 seconds left. That's going to do it, Brad. That's going to end the game. And the Vinton County Vikings tonight on 12-19 of 2023, Brad, they give up 19 points to the Alexander Spartans in a varsity contest, and they set the all-time record for fewest points given up in a game, home or away, with 19. They break the record of 23 points set a few years back at Nelsonville, York, and they break the home record set a few weeks ago against the Logan Chieftains at 26. Talk about a defensive effort, a defensive showstopper performance tonight from the Vikings.
Defensively, these guys are tenacious. It's really surprising what they're able to do on the floor. But again, not that this is just about the seniors, but a senior class that's already set records in football is starting to set more records in basketball now.
And you talked about those seniors, but also as Ian Moeller just – we didn't get that on camera, but he touched his head on the rim as he's running off the floor. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But you talk about – they've got the senior leadership, but they also have some younger kids as well. How many people did we play tonight? 12, 13 kids tonight.
We had 12 on the bench. We played all 12.
Right.
Significant minutes.
Right, absolutely. And yeah, part of that's due to having a large lead. But they came out in the second half, with those players off the bench. So it's important because you've got the senior leadership. They're teaching those young guys this is how it's done. You're also getting to play with those seniors quite a bit, which is also good. And it's just going to continue to carry over. But talk about this team this year, this season, and what they have coming up. I mean, they've got a tough schedule.
They do.
Let's just call it like it is. The TVC not the strongest conference in basketball in the Southeast District this season. You have the Vikings that are solid, favored to win the league. Megs put up a really tough game there a couple weeks ago here at Vinton County. The Vikings came away with a 10-point win. So that's going to be a big battle down there in Pomeroy later this season. But other than those two, it kind of falls off after that, right? So, but you look at the schedule the Vikings have built, okay? You've got, again, Fed Hawk coming in, favorite of the TVC Ohio, or TVC Hawking coming in. You got South Webster, they're the favorite of the SOC this season. You've got the big boys on the schedule. You've played Division I Logan. You've got Marietta, which is a very, very good team. That's going to be a tournament preparer right there later in this season. You've got Jackson on the schedule. They were young last year, a little older this year. Never know what's going to happen when you face the Ironman. It's the last game of the season, barring any reschedules, which hopefully we don't have. But you've got those teams. You've got McLean, another D2 team. You've got Chillicothe, another D1 team. And so you look at the schedule, and it's like, okay, the TVC Ohio, you feel like the Vikings should take care. And I'm not saying they're going to roll through it. Everybody knows anybody can beat anybody on any given night. What I'm saying is they're going to be favored in those games. They're going to be not favored in a handful of those non-conference games, and that's where they're going to have to get their preparation to make a run in the tournament, because I think you take a team that's this senior-laden and this athletic and this good at scoring from inside and outside. You got shooters, you got big men. it's kind of expected that this is a team that should make a good tournament run. This is the pieces you need to do that, and it's going to be important to see how they continue this year and gel and continue to get better, because in the tournament this year in D2, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. And again, it's going to be difficult to get back to the Convocation Center. We haven't been there in a few years, Brad. It's kind of weird. We got kind of spoiled for a while. We went about every year, but this is the year. This is our year to make it back to the Convocation Center.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about the TVC, we still have to travel to the alley, over Alexander.
True.
It's always tough for us there.
Absolutely.
And the trip down to Pomeroy is never easy either.
Yeah.
Both very winnable games for us, but don't count those two games yet.
Well, and you have to go to Wellston. You have to play Wellston here too, but you have to go to Wellston. And we know what happened last year.
Well, last year was just an amazing game.
One of the best high school games I have ever watched in my life.
Yeah, it was something else. I mean, it can't be replicated. We don't ask for it to be replicated.
No.
At least not in that capacity.
Yeah, had we won, maybe, but
possibly.
On the short end of the stick there.
But again, everything's still out ahead of this team. We're now 6-0.
6-0.
We're going to have a few tests coming up on the schedule. Chillicothe possibly down this year.
They did have a big win against McLean the other night.
They did, and still. I think that's going to be our best test so far. I mean, we played Zane Trace.
Zane Trace, another good team. That's a Zane Trace that I covered last year in the tournament. Hunter and I covered them in the D3 tournament. They lost Xander Ream, big-time player for them. But they had a lot of guys step up that were underclassmen, and we saw that in that first game here. I know we're kind of giving a synopsis of the season so far because this is our first game, but that Zane Trace team, Brad, I'm telling you, they're going to have a chance to make it back to that regional final at the Convo in the spring, even though they lost their best player because of the guys that made the difference last year. It wasn't just Ream. They had to have guys step up, and they did that. The Jarrell boys are fantastic players. Landon Jarrell was one of the best shooters I saw last year in the tournament. And, I believe he was a sophomore last year. He's a junior this year. I mean, come on. So that's a very good win on a resume for the tournament for the Vikings. Again, that's the best win, I think, other than the Megs game. Megs was tough. Megs is full of athletes, and they always are. And that, again, like you said, that's going to be a tough rematch down in Pomeroy later this year. And that, if Megs continues to win, that's the only loss they have in league play. You're looking at a possible TVC championship game at that point, or at least a first-place game at that point, with a Megs team that has not won the TVC in basketball. I would have to look at my book, Brad, but I don't know if they've ever won a TVC Ohio in basketball, period. I think the last time they won was pre-split in 1993. So you talk about a team. How did it feel this year when we won it in football?
Yeah.
You talk about it, that feeling. That's what they have on their docket this year. Their potential to claim that, and they're going to be hyped up for that one.
They are, and that senior class is planned throughout their voyage up through the classes. Has always thought that they would be a contender for the TVC, and they always have throughout, but they've taken a step back the last couple seasons. I know in their heart they think they are a contender for it. So we're going to go down there and probably see the best of Megs the next time we're in Pomeroy. But, looking ahead at the schedule and talking about things, to me, out on that schedule, that Fed Hawk game is really going to be the test. To me, that's probably the best team in the TVC outside of our own selves, but they are probably a step better than us. And one of the top 5 or 6 teams in Southeast Ohio.
Yeah.
And P. Floyd agrees, they're a top 10 team. Zane Trace was a top 10 team. There's a few more on the schedule we have to play yet.
Washington Courthouse.
Yeah, Courthouse. We played, a scrimmage against South Point, which was another top 5 team right there.
Yeah, South Point Division 2 or Division 4 or 3. Sorry, I'll get it right one of these times.
And that was a game that we were very competitive in. Early, we got a little behind. Late, we started kind of to prove who we were. I think everything still lays out great for us. You need to continue winning and be very competitive in those ultra elite games to be able to get that good seed that you need, the good draw in the tournament.
Right.
And I think right now we're still poised and on track to do all those things.
Yeah, and you look at the way the schedule is built, Brad. We've got a lot of the teams on the non-conference side that we could see in the tournament. You know, there are a lot of D2. There are Southeast District. There are a lot of D2 schools on the schedule that are good. Marietta is a team that you could see. Obviously, Warren is out there as well. We don't play them in the regular season, but they're always going to be a force.
Yeah.
Another good school.
Well, the new Lexingtons, those types of you know.
But you've got Washington on the schedule. You've got Jackson on the schedule. You got McLean on the schedule. Good basketball school there down in Greenfield. So I would say probably this year, more than any other, that there's a good chance that we could see a rematch from one of those games in the regular season in the tournament this year. And that's something that's not normally consistently happening. But I would say based on the fact that we feel we're at those teams' level, there's a good chance that some of that could potentially come back around in the tournament and see a rematch. And boy, wouldn't that be something? You talk about tournament play, anybody can beat anybody, but most of the time it's between teams that never played each other, never seen each other. And you've got 2 or 3 days to prepare, so not much time. And, it's basically just about who does what they do best. And, if it's a case where, the Vikings and the Ironmen meet each other in the tournament, or let's say the Marietta Tigers or McLean, you're already going to have game film on those guys.
You are, and that's the thing. Getting back to the convo is really what we want to do, and we're going to run into those teams we're used to seeing there in the past. The Sheridans,
New
Lexes,
Fairfield Union.
Fairfield Union, yes. Those
absolutely.
are the teams we're going to be seeing.
All right, so we got Coach coming up. We're going to get him mic'd up here. There you go. We need to put maybe a front and a back sticker on it for you.
Well, I'm not real smart, so it takes me a while to figure this stuff out sometimes.
Coach, 64-19 today, 12/19/2023, a day that will go down in history for Vinton County Vikings basketball. 23 points was the record of points allowed in a game, and you broke it by 4 tonight.
We'll take it. We'll take it. I any defensive record we can take, I'll take that in a heartbeat.
So 64 points. This is a team in Alexander, very young, inexperienced. The Waller kid had a great game tonight.
Oh yeah, he was an animal,
and it never gave up. But you gotta be happy with your offense and your defense tonight. Scoring 64 points, it's kind of been your average-ish so far this season.
Right.
But giving up 19, that's incredible. What can you take away from this? There were some mistakes that we could clean up on, but what do you preach to your kids after a win like this against a team that traditionally is very good basketball? They're just struggling a little bit this year.
Sure. Yeah. No. I think we just take that we came in and we did what we needed to do. These kids understand that this is a young team that we were playing tonight. Kids aren't dumb. It's not like back when I was in school and there were times you didn't know stuff about other teams that well. They knew. And I thought we were a little flat the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game. I remember being 7-4 at one point. We'd given up a bunch of offensive rebounds, and I didn't think we were flying around defensively the way we did Friday against Athens. But, man, they kicked it into gear after that. It was almost like they flipped a switch and just turned it on after that.
So let me ask you this, because we've had some pretty good second halves so far this season. How do you contribute that? Is that a direct correlation of the fact that tonight we had 12 guys play?
Right.
You guys typically go 8, 9, 10 deep, regardless of the score of the game.
Right.
Does that keep your guys fresher later in games?
I think it does, and I think it does a few things. I think it does keep us fresh. Because a lot of teams we played, especially like some of our closer games, like Zane Trace and Meggs, they weren't very deep. Those were teams that were playing about 7 guys. We preach, get up and down the floor. We're deeper than they are. So I think that being able to get Garrett, get Cobra, get Ashton, get Owen, get those guys breaks in there in the first half. I think it pays dividends in the second half. And then, I think the other thing that it does is when you're playing that many guys, and I'd play this many guys without doing this, but I think when you play that many guys, it kind of triggers something in their head. Hey, I'm contributing. I'm locked in. I'm gonna do the things I need to do to be successful out there.
So talk a little bit about your team tonight. There was we've seen this year certain individual players take over games. Tonight it was more of spread the wealth.
Right.
A lot of guys had good games, put some points up on the board. Hayden Reynolds with some good steals on defense.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what you guys were able to do tonight in terms of stats.
I just thought that it was, like you said, balanced. I thought the ball movement, I thought our ball movement's been pretty good all year, but I thought tonight it was phenomenal. We had about 5 or 6, kind of passes in that game where a guy, looked like he was going to take a shot and then just made an even better pass for an easier shot from somebody else. And I mean, that's what you get. That's what I love to see. I mean, that's the way the game's supposed to be played.
Yeah, we saw on about 3 different occasions Ian Moeller fake me out with a pass.
Yeah.
We said he was auditioning for a starting spot, and I said he was auditioning for the point guard
Yeah,
spot. 6'5" point guard that can throw the rock around.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, man, I thought Ian was good tonight. And here's the funny thing, he didn't score. But I think he probably had 6-7 rebounds, and he had about 3 or 4 block shots. I mean, this team has done such a good job of understanding what their role. Each player has done a good job of understanding what their role is and playing that role. I mean, it's like not the old saying, not everybody can be a superstar, but you can be a superstar in your role.
Right.
And I mean, I think that's what our guys do. I mean, Matt Hembry, Parker Schonborn, I mean, those guys, Ashton Tritipo, Hayden Reynolds, Ian Nash, I mean, those guys do what they're supposed to do out there and kind of eliminate the stuff they're not supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. And, me personally, this has got to be the deepest team I've seen here in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've had some phenomenal teams here.
I'm not taking anything away from that. I'm
right,
just saying,
but you're right. I don't know that we've ever been this good, 9 or 10, our 9th or 10th man been this good.
Yeah, so what a game. Complete domination against 6th win of the season. We're 6-0. Got 16 left?
Yeah.
You're off to a good start.
Yeah.
Undefeated in league play. Everything's still out in front of us. But a great job tonight by the Vikings, 64-19. You guys set the record again. You set the home record against Logan. The home record was 30. You gave up 26.
Okay.
Tonight you give up 19. You take the home record and the road record, and you just make it all one.
Hey, we'll take it.
So congratulations on that. Anytime you can break a record at a tradition-rich school like this,
sure.
that's saying something.
Sure.
So,
sure.
So great job. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
We got Chillicothe next week after Christmas break.
Correct.
So go enjoy Christmas.
Well, we got Nelsonville Friday.
Oh, we do have Nelsonville Friday. Sorry.
I can't enjoy Christmas yet.
I said we, as in BMG.
BMG, yes.
So the Nelsonville game. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that before we break out of here. Nelsonville, very athletic.
Oh, yeah.
Lane Gabriel's
does a great
Hall
job.
of Famer.
Does a great job.
In my opinion, coach over at Nelsonville. What do you got to do Friday to go over a place that in 2018, the year we won the TVC, they finished last in the conference, and we lost in overtime over there.
Yes,
what do you got to do to keep your guys prepared? Because we have Christmas break, because we've got a lot of things coming up. It's a very important league game right before, a very special time of the year for everybody.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, you're exactly right. I think we just need to, that's what we've been preaching all year is just take care of business. We've got lofty goals, and we don't want to give up on those. And I'll give our kids credit; they've answered the bell every game, doing the things they need to do, and coming out with the right mindset. And it's been great so far. Friday night specifically, I think they're one of the better defensive teams I've seen. I mean, they're always in the right spot. They're so long. The Swope kid is so good. I mean, he just seems like gets his hands on everything. And they've got a couple other kids that are long and rangy like that jump passing lanes. So I mean. We've got to take care of the ball. That's job number one is taking care of the ball, because if we don't, it allows them to score easier buckets on the other end. And so I think if we take care of the ball, obviously, good things happen. If we put a shot up, we either, make a lot of them, or, we got some big guys that can grab a lot of rebounds and finish off of those. So, I think that's the key for us going over there.
We have had success in that gym in terms of offense as well as defense. The most points scored in a game was actually over there. We've done it here as well, but 103 points in a basketball game. Not expecting that Friday.
No.
It doesn't matter by how many. Let's just come back with the W, Coach.
That is exactly right.
Good luck Friday.
Thank
Have
you.
A great Christmas after that.
Hey, you too.
We will be back here for the Chillicothe game
Awesome.
next week.
Sounds good.
So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh,
Enjoy it. Enjoy the week, and we'll see you Friday. Hopefully